Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the Live Ones. It is Wednesday, November 17th, 2021, and the Jets have announced that Joe Flacco will be starting the game against the Dolphins over Mike White, which is hilarious, really, because Robert Saleh, the Jets coach, he got all pissy with the media when they asked him if he'd do this exact thing, saying, oh, well, now everyone wants to throw him away just because he had a four-pick start against the number one defense in football who were playing angry after an embarrassing loss to the Jaguars the week before. Nassau, where they want results really, really fast and will just discard you like a used tissue. Where your first bad start is your last bad start. Quarterback Tinder. Who's next? Swipe right. Oh, well. Trade bait when the time comes, I suppose. Man, did I ever need that form one day yesterday after being stuck right at or right below 500 for pretty much the last 3 weeks straight. I think taking Monday off to get my bearings did me some good. Let's see if we can keep the momentum going tonight. We've got MACtion, college hoops, NBA, and NHL. Let's get right to it, and we're going to start off with the MAC. Buffalo versus Northern Illinois. I was going to lay off both MAC games tonight, actually, as there's a soaking low-pressure system moving through the Midwest tonight that's supposed to bring heavy wind and rain to both Muncie and Buffalo tonight. But I'm looking at the latest weather reports right now, and it looks like the precipitation is going to stay out of Buffalo until well after the game is over. It's going to come around at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. All they're going to be dealing with is a steady 15-mile-an-hour cross breeze, but that hardly matters as both the Huskies and the Bulls are primarily run-first teams. Buffalo 30th in the nation with 196 rushing yards a game. Northern Illinois 15th in the country with 220. Moreover, both of these teams are absolute garbage when it comes to run defense, giving up a combined average of 405 yards on the ground per game. These are two offenses that can put up 40 points in a game if they need to and often do, and two defenses that have shown nothing that suggests to me that they could stop it. The total from this game has plummeted from 63.5 down to 59.5 on news of the weather. Grab the over 59.5 now because it's going to probably be going back up before kickoff, but that is my first play for the night. Over to college hoops, and the game that I'm looking at tonight is UC Davis and Pepperdine, and to say Pepperdine has gotten off to a shaky start would be grossly expanding the definition of shaky. They opened their season with a 19-point spanking by Rice on the road, barely snuck by a weak Idaho State team at home, then let Utah Valley come from behind and send it to overtime where they got slaughtered. This team, it seems, just doesn't have the gas to play a full game. Right around minute 31 or 32 is typically where they just run out of energy and fall to pieces. So far, they're shooting an abysmal 39.1% from the floor, well below the national average. It's a problem that can be corrected, but I don't know if it can be corrected in the span of one game. UC Davis, I mean, there's absolutely nothing to like about their start so far. There's absolutely nothing not to like, I should say, about their start so far. 2-0 shocked Utah State on the road as an 11.5-point underdog, easily handled Eastern Washington at home. Their offense is averaging 78 points a game so far, good for the upper half of the country. Their defense is creating an insane amount of turnovers, 35 so far through the first two games. That's a really big problem for Pepperdine as they've been coughing it up over 15 times a game so far through the first three. Frankly, I don't know why this game is a pick'em. The Aggies are clearly the team that's off to the better start. Pepperdine is struggling to find itself after losing Colby Ross, and I fully expect a win by UC Davis tonight. But right now it's a pick'em, but I'd take UC Davis up to minus 2.5. So over to the NHL. Short slate of NHL games tonight, and they're all on the West Coast, but the game I like tonight is the Avalanche and the Canucks. Vancouver is a team that started out the season hot, then fell to earth like a meteor. Not only have they lost 8 out of their last 10 games, they've been getting a right ass kicking while they've been at it. Their last 3 games, they've been outscored 13-5. One of those games was by these very same Colorado Avalanche, who beat them in Colorado by a score of 7-1. I mean, it was an embarrassment. Thatcher Demko's GAA is now 3.33, save percentage under 900. Canucks now own the dead last penalty kill in the NHL at 62%. The Avalanche have been riding a red-hot hand through the beginning of November. They've scored 4 or more goals in 5 out of their last 6 games. Nazem Kadri with 8 points his last 4 games. Samuel Girard with a goal and 6 assists the last 3. And Devin Toews with a pair of goals in the last 2. They've been just really, really hot on offense lately. I've got to ride the momentum right now. It shows no signs of stopping. Give me Colorado on the plus 151 puck line tonight at minus 1.5 goals. I think all the ingredients are in place for another blowout tonight. So then over to the NBA, and the game that I like tonight is the Celtics and the Hawks. The Celtics are riding a 7-0 ATS streak and have won 3 out of the past 4 games, including a 98-92 road win over the Cavs on Monday. Atlanta recently snapped out of a 6-game losing skid with back-to-back big wins at home over the Milwaukee Bucks and the Orlando Magic. But that did not do anything to increase my prospects on this team's value. They've been bitten by the injury bug to open the season. Bogdan Bogdanovic and Kevin Huerter are both questionable. DeAndre Hunter, obviously, is going to be out recovering from wrist surgery until mid-January. Jaylen Brown is still out for the Celtics, so obviously expect to see a lot of Al Horford and Jason Tatum. I know Tatum's been struggling to start the season, but it's Tatum. He's going to get right eventually. There are a couple of angles I like in this game. The under 215.5 looks good. Marcus Smart is going to be guarding Trae Young tonight, so that should bottle up the Hawks' points somewhat, to say nothing of, like we said, the fact that Tatum is off to a slow start. I wouldn't be mad at you if you put a small play on the Celtics' money line. Atlanta's obviously a different team at home. That's why they're the heavy favorite tonight. But I think the Celtics' talent plus all the injuries on the Hawks make this an even matchup tonight. But my play on this game is going to be on the spread. It's going to be the Celtics +5. The talent that they're going to have on the floor is simply superior to the talent the Hawks will likely be fielding most of the game. They're going to keep this game close even if they do lose. So yeah, Celtics +5. That is my fourth and final play for the night. Everyone bet safe, stay safe. Follow us on Twitter at LiveOneSports. Check us out on Roku and Fire TV at the Live Ones. Have yourselves a great Wednesday night, and I will see you tomorrow.